Kriss, I would like to know, how do you prepare or how do you make a professional voiceover demo reel?
What you're supposed to give to your agencies or the person who's going to give you work, that will actually include your forte or what you specialize in. So there are people who would like to do commercials, there are people who would like to do documentaries, there are people who would like to do newscast or maybe IVR. So what you want to specialize, at least 3 choices of what you want to specialize. That is what you portray on your reel. Now, in that, if you want to do a conversational, maybe if you're specializing in dubbing, then how well you bring out the emotions, that should come there. Maybe you can do a storytelling part, which will actually cater to storytelling as well as for, commercial voiceovers and the emotional part of it. So there are different ways you look at it. Either you can take a story, do a reading, you can do a normal news read so that the news pattern is there. You can do IVR, you can do greeting messages, and all these things you split it into 3 different kinds with your name and contact number. And that, when you record and send it out to an agency, they look at it as a real, oh, you specialize in commercials, you specialize in storytelling, or you're the one who can do IVR. So that idea, you pass it on to them and then you get work. So a professional reel always will have 3 of your best ways how you use your voice, at least. Or if you want to do a comprehensive reel, there is no problem. Or if you want to do a whole website where you have all your works, then you can say, okay, these are the commercials, these are the documentaries, these are the video blogs I've done, these are the self-introduction, these are the profile videos I've done. So all these things can be put onto a website, and you can pass on the website link also. You have websites like SoundCloud or Spotify, which can carry your storytelling samples, which can actually carry say your commercial samples. All those things can be done either with other third-party websites like SoundCloud or Spotify. So you have always a range ready with you, or else you can do a YouTube video where you say this is your audio reel and do all these things on video and record it and send that link to the person. So with the advent of social media, you have umpteen number of choices how you want to present the reel. Earlier, when I used to work, we had either a mini disc or a USB later on, a USB, or probably we burn a CD or a DVD. That was the one which we used to use. But now it is always on the cloud. You can use different third-party websites for sending your reel, and websites like Upwork and other websites which offer you work for sound, they actually allow you to upload separate audios as a reference sample. So this is how the work comes into your hand.
Yes, I would like to ask you another query. What advice would you give an artist whose voice cracks when he or she dubs for himself or herself?
Right. The reason for the voice cracking or the damage in the vocal cords temporarily could be lack of sleep, throat going very dry, having very hot or very cold drink before the dub. All these things can create an issue. First, if you have extensively used your voice for a long time the previous day and you have not had enough water, voice naturally would crack. Everybody, it's common sense and everybody knows that. Now, as we do in our voice gym, the best way is humming or using the word om to correct your voice. So you can just take in a breath and extend a hum like so that actually will level your vocal cords and give you some kind of relief. Second thing, if you're having a kind of a sore feeling, then warm honey mixed with cinnamon powder, that's a very quick and easy kind of a medicine. I would always advise not to go for a chemical lozenge. Instead, warm honey and cinnamon powder can do the same effect, and it can bring your voice back in, say, 3 doses. Your voice will be perfectly back to normal. And try and retain your voice to your normal timbre. That will actually prevent a lot of damage. Drinking normal water, that also can do a lot of help. Many a times what artists or say even voice artists, they clear their throat, which is very damaging. Instead, they should be drinking water. So clearing the throat is not a good practice. That should be avoided. So essentially what we have seen is using of warm honey and cinnamon powder, humming, using the word om, or breathing deep and calming yourself down. Trying, when you have a dub, try not to use your voice a lot the previous evening. Drink enough and ample water so that your voice is hydrated, and do not drink very hot or very cold drink or anything to eat just before the recording. All these things will prevent cracking of the voice while you're dubbing for yourself, or even if you're doing it for other people. And there are a lot of herbal medicines which people claim that clears your voice, and yeah, all those things do work. Like you have the licorice. In Malayalam, we call it Derati Madiram. That also clears your throat so well. The use of, say, peppercorns and sugar, that also clears your throat so well. It takes off phlegm. The use of the honey and cinnamon, as I said. A lot of things can help your voice, but try and retain your voice to a normal. Drink normal water. That's the best. Water is the best medicine.
Okay. I'm a teacher who deals with children who are autistic, who suffer from ADHD. You can't call them suffer, but still they have ADHD and they have speech problems. How can voice training help them to become, focused and improve their communication skills and bring some emotions into their lives? Plus, are there any tailor-made programs for kids?
Right. Now, first of all, the question can be split into three different questions. One is people who are autistic. In the autistic spectrum, it depends on how much they can assimilate, because on a high-end autistic spectrum affected child, they will not be able to understand what we are trying to convey to them. Because here we are actually giving numbers and we are trying to tell them, okay, you inhale for this much number of counts, and that assimilation need not happen with a high autistic spectrum child. Now, in case of ADHD, the assimilation is different. They understand. Now, in such cases, breathing can calm them down, and it can bring down the symptoms also, because you're doing extended exhalation. So that actually calms their mind. So that's the second part of it. Now, third part, tailor-made courses for children. What happens if they are not practicing for a regular time? You would have seen kids singing so well, but after the age of, say, 15, 16, they suddenly stop. That's because it's not carried forward after their teenage time. So that can be a problem. So that is why there is no specific tailor-made courses, but the same thing can be taught to them, depends on their assimilation part. Now, coming to the other part where the mental health or focus is concerned, voice training along with breathing, they will be able to communicate better. You're interacting them on a daily basis. Their idiomotor response will be much better because you're training a muscle, exactly like giving exercises. It's as good as you're giving them a physiotherapy for the internal organ or for the breathing apparatus. So this actually helps them understand how to bring out the voice better, how to breathe better. So it all depends whether they are able to understand what we are trying to convey. Once they are ready to understand, age is not a factor. Between the age of, say, I have had students of 7-year-old who were able to understand, who were able to do the course very well, to the age of, say, 65, 66 or 70, who want to do the course and who want to sustain their breathing and somehow bring out their voice better. So the age factor can be removed. Only thing is the assimilation part of ADHD or the autism spectrum or any other kind of child impaired nature of their mind, which might stop them from understanding what we are trying to say. Otherwise, this is common for all.